Hi everyone, I'm CyberEye. Welcome to Advent of Cyber 2025. This is day 3. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this for months. If you don't know what Advent of Cyber is, it is a 24-day cybersecurity challenge by Try Hack Me. It runs from December 1st to December 24th. So every day for 24 days, you're going to be getting new cybersecurity challenges to work through. AOC is an amazing opportunity to hone your skills, to pick up new skills, and it is entirely beginner friendly. So if you're just starting out your career in cybersecurity, don't worry, you can still be part of it. And here's the best part, there are prizes to be won. Over $150,000 worth of prizes. So of course, join in. Now, speaking about topics that are beginner friendly, today we are going to be talking about Splunk Basics. Splunk is a SIEM tool, and SIEM stands for Security, Event, and Information Management. So what it does is it takes records of everything that's going on in your system. So let's read the story. It's almost Christmas in Wareville, and the team of the best festival company, TBFC, is busy preparing for the big celebration. Everything is running smoothly until the SOC dashboard flashes red. A ransom message suddenly appears. Attack. 1,000 HopSec coins for Mixkidding, or SOC-mas ends tonight. The message comes from King Maher, the jealous ruler of HopSec Island, who is tired of Easter being forgotten. He sent his bandit bunnies to attack TBFC's systems and turned Christmas into his new holiday, Eastmas. Ooh. With Mixkidding missing and the network under attack, the TBFC SOC team will utilize Splunk to determine how the ransomware infiltrated the system and prevent King Malhead's plans from being compromised before Christmas. Now, at the end of this room, we should be able to interpret log data on Splunk. We should be able to refine search results using the right fields, and we should be able to conduct investigations within Splunk to uncover key insights. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do now is we are going to start our target machine. Here it says the machine will need about 2 to 3 minutes to fully boot, so you have to be patient.
A few minutes later.
Okay, it's been about 3 minutes, and that means our machine should be fully loaded. So we're going to click this link. Right. Now we're on Splunk, and so we're going to go back, and the first thing we are going to do is check this. It says I successfully have access to the Splunk instance. So now that we do, check it. So let's go back to Splunk. The first thing we're going to do is click Search and Reporting. And after that, you find yourself here. Now, what you're going to notice is that this time here says last 24 hours. Now, the issue with this is the logs that are going to come out are only the logs that were processed in the last 24 hours. But we're looking to process all the logs. So instead of last 24 hours, we're going to change the time to all time. And now, our very first search query is going to be index. You type index, put the equal to sign, and main. So what this is going to do is it's going to bring out the full list of events. So here we can see that there are 18,744 events. Now let me just give a brief explanation of what is on your screen. First, what we have here is the search bar. So this is where you're going to be inputting your search queries. Whatever you're looking for, this is where you're going to type it, and then you click search. Now, and here is a histogram. What this histogram does is it shows the records, the total number of events that were recorded in a day. So for instance, here we can see Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. The total number of events recorded in that day is 647. So if you keep going on and on and on like that, you keep seeing the events for each day. And here we can see selected fields, interesting fields. Think of these as filters. So what it does is it helps narrow down your search. So instead of giving a broad list like 18,744 events, using these fields helps narrow down your search to what you're looking for, depending on what you're looking for. Now let's try and answer the questions on Try Hack Me. Okay. The first question says, what is the attacker IP found and compromising the web server? Now, before you answer the questions, I highly recommend that you read the text. I know it's a really long read, but it helps you understand better how to navigate Splunk. So please read it. And back to the question, what is the attacker IP found attacking and compromising the web server? So we're looking for attacker IPs compromising the web server. So traffic related to the web server. The first thing we are going to do now on Splunk is you click source type. Now there are two source types. There's a firewall log and web traffic. So the relevant field because of the question is web traffic. Now, when you click on a value, it automatically gets added to the search bar. So from what we see here, I clicked on web traffic and now that has gotten added to the search bar and it has narrowed down our results from over 18,000 to 17,172. So that means that there are 17,172 events related to web traffic. Now, the next thing we are going to click on is client IP. Client IP is the list of IP addresses that are accessing the web server. So we see the top 10 values of the client IPs. And the first thing you observe here is the counts. Now for the top 10, you can see 3232, but there's one that stands out, 7,876. Now it's clear that this is the attacker IP. Why? Because it is ridiculously high. In some cases, it might not be this clear and you might want to investigate further. But for this kind of result, we can see this IP sticking out like a sore thumb. So this is a suspicious IP. This is the attacker IP. Our answer is going to be this IP address, which is 198.51.100.55. So we're going to copy that, go back to Splunk and paste it there. So that's our answer. Next question says, which day was the peak traffic in the logs? Now the format is year, month, date. Which day was the peak traffic in the logs? Now, from what I explained earlier, we are going to get this from the histogram. So what we are going to do is we are going to just hover over each result to see which one has the highest number of events. That shows us the dates with peak traffic. So here we see 2012. Here we see 1000. Okay, this is not obviously not the highest. This is 2267. We're going to check the others to see if anyone is as high as that or higher. Okay, so after going through hovering over all of them, we see that the highest is 2,267. And that happened on Sunday, October 12th, 2025. So our answer is October 12th, 2025. Now, the next question is, what is the count of average user agents found in the logs? What is the count of average user agents found in the logs? So going back to Splunk, first of all, we want to add our client IP to the search bar so that every result we are going to get is only going to be results involving the client IP, that is the attacker's IP address. And so now the question is asking about user agent. Now note this, user agent, and the agent we're looking for is average. So we're going to go back and look for the field that says user agent, and we can see that there are 8 user agents. We'll click on that, and what we are trying to find is average. So this is average on the list, and the count for average is 993. So the answer is 993. Now we're going to go back to Splunk. Try hack me and put the answer 993. Now the next question says, How many attempts of directory traversing to access a sensitive file on the server were observed? Now, I don't want to assume you all know what directory traversal is. So, in case you don't know, directory traversal is a type of web attack where an attacker tries to access files outside the web server's root directory that should normally not be accessible. So now we're going to go back to Splunk. The field that is relevant to this question is path. Why path? Let's go back to the write-up on TryHackMe. Here it says that path is the field that contains the URI or Uniform Resource Indicator that is being requested and accessed by client IPs. Now we're going back to Splunk, and so we click on path. Now we can see the top 10 values of the path, and let me say this, a key indicator of directory traversal is dot dot forward slash. So when you see dot dot forward slash, there is a very good chance that that is directory traversal. Now, from this list, there is only one value that looks like directory traversal, and that is this one. You can see dot dot forward slash etc password. Yeah, so this is the indicator of directory traversal, and the count attached to it is 658. That means that there were 658 attempts at directory traversal. So our answer is going to be 658. The last question says, examine the firewall logs. How many bytes were transferred to the C2 server IP from the compromised web server? And we have a hint here. The hint says, use the sum command to get the accumulative result. So let's take it step by step. First of all, we are examining the firewall logs. So that changes our source type from web traffic to firewall logs. So going back to Splunk, the first thing we are going to do is erase this. Erase everything that is not index main, okay? So that we will start with our full list of events, which is 18,744. Now we're going to click on source type, and we see web traffic, we see firewall logs. We're going to click on firewall logs. So our list of events has come down to 1,572. Now what's the next thing? It says how many bytes were transferred to the C2 server IP from the compromised web server. So we need the source IP, and here we see, okay, there's only one source IP, so that has to be it. Now, like I said before, clicking automatically adds the value to your search. And the next thing is destination IP. But here there are over 100 destination IPs. But if you read the question, it says from to the C2 server IP from the compromised web server. So it is again the attacker's IP address, that is 198.51.100.55. This is the destination IP. You click on that because it has the highest amount of traffic. And our final list of events is 285 events. So what we're looking for is how many bytes were transferred. So we're looking for bytes transferred. Now we see a field here that says bytes transferred, but this is not useful because it's only going to give us results for individual events. What we need is the sum total. So what we're going to do here is the first thing you do is you type a pipe. Now pipe just takes it to the next line. So you put pipe. Pipe is like vertical slash. That's a pipe. So pipe, then we're going to type stats because we're looking for sum. So that's statistics, stats. And so what this stats means is that the result is going to come out under this statistics tab. Okay? So we've clicked on stats, and remember the hint says we should use the sum command to get the accumulative result, right? So the next thing we're going to type after stats is sum, open bracket, bytes transferred, close bracket. Okay? Now we are going to run this search, and here we have our answer. Sum of bytes transferred is 126,167. So that is our answer. You copy that and go back to try hack me and paste it in the answer box. Check the answer is correct. And that brings us to the end of this room. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were able to follow. I hope you understood all the activities that were carried out. And so if you enjoyed this room, please be sure to check out the incident handling with Splunk room to help you learn more about analyzing logs with Splunk. Once again, I am CyberEye. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Happy SOC-mas.